Okay, here's the next one in the series of interviews we've been doing today. This is with Angus Abranson of Chronicle City, formerly of Cubicle 7, of course, but now of Chronicle City. Hello, Angus.
Hello, thank you for having me.
All right, you're quite welcome. So, as we've been doing with everyone else, please tell us what's going on with Chronicle City, what you can tell us.
Well, Chronicle City, I left Cubicle 7 in December 2011 to go and form Chronicle City. So this year we've been building the blocks of the company, getting everything in place. Initially, a lot of material we're going to be doing is we're working with a number of other designers and studios around the world to help them get their product into print and in the marketplace through distributors and retailers. So what we do is if a company has been producing purely PDF or has been looking at Kickstarter but wanted to get their products into a wider audience, we work with them to get the files so we can then take them to the printers, get them printed up and into the distribution and sales channels so they can actually get into retail stores and in front of a larger consumer base. It also means that we can help them with advertising, demonstration games at conventions and lots of other associated things, and leaves them dedicated time to actually do the design work that they, a lot of the guys actually really only want to concentrate on.
Okay, so you said this is from people all around the world. What kind of countries are we talking about here?
We've got partners, a lot of our partners are in the US and the UK, but I'm also working with people in France, Italy, Germany, Australia. So there's companies and designers literally, in most corners of the world that we, have been helping out with.
Okay, I was talking to Robin Laws earlier and about the kind of the UK and the US gaming scenes. He said he's seen a kind of massive increase and surge in the UK scene over the last few years. Would you say the same? Is this now sort of spreading more globally as well?
What, for UK designers, you mean, or for actual
role-playing games?
Role-playing games in general. I think role-playing games they never went away. I think one of the things being is that there are so many more games now than there were in the 90s and certainly the 80s, because it is a lot easier to obviously now publish with digital printing, small press indie games. With the advent of desktop publishing and PDF sales and everything else, it's meant a lot of people can now get their games into a format electronically out into a lot of people, in front of people. Yeah. So I think there's a lot more choice. Whether or not that's meant that we've seen a rise in actual gamers, I'm not so sure, because I think certainly in the UK and US, a lot of the demographics are still slightly aging. Yeah. And I think what we need to try and do is find a way of being able to get some new blood in. But of course there's a lot of competition for that age group to try and get into games now. One thing I think we have seen is a lot of the older regular gamers, their children have started gaming, which has helped. Yeah. But I think it's a way of being able to get people who have just had no connection with games at all to be able to find role-playing games and get involved with them.
Okay, fantastic. The other thing, of course, to talk about is Dragonmeet itself. You were running Dragonmeet and very heavily involved. Has it been nice this year to have a slightly more sort of backseat? I mean, obviously you've been busy, but not quite in the same way. Yeah,
well, we relaunched Dragonmeet because Dragonmeet was originally a games convention back in the 80s that Games Workshop ran, and we relaunched it in, I think the first event we did was December 1999, and that came out as a group of designers and games company people who are based in London, like James Wallace from Hogshead, Simon from Pelgrane, Pro Fantasy, and there's a group of us who were having regular industry meetings, and we wanted to try and do something for the games community, and so we had a short list of things, and one of them was a convention. So we decided to relaunch Dragonmeet at that time. Yeah. Then I took over complete control of the company that was running Dragonmeet in about 2005 and was running it purely by myself. And when I took Cubicle 7 full time, I merged Dragonmeet into Cubicle 7.
Right.
So for the last 3 years, we've been running it as a Cubicle 7 event as such. Yeah. So when I left Cubicle 7, obviously I left Dragonmeet behind so this is the first time probably about 12 or 13 years I've had nothing to do with the organisation of the show, and it has, it's been very weird. On the run up to the show, I wasn't quite sure how I'd feel about actually coming along just as a trader for the first time. Yeah. But no, it's done very well. Yeah, like Dom, Kat, John, and everyone else involved has certainly done very well with the show, and it's certainly been a lot less stressful for me because it does running a convention does take a lot of work in the run-up, and a lot of sleepless nights as well, because there's always trying to remember, have I done this or I haven't done that. So yeah, this time around it was definitely a lot less stressful. I certainly, I'm certainly quite pleased that I've had a year off for the first time in over a decade.
And I think lastly, is there anything you can say about Chronicle City's plans for the next year? I mean, you've said there's some stuff that you're still looking at that you're not going to talk about until it's actually announced. But any tidbits, anything we can put forward?
Well, we're in negotiations with a number of things that I'm not going to announce, even after we've signed the deals, until they're actually developed and ready to go out, because one of the things I don't want to do is announce something and then take it into development, and a year and a half down the line it finally comes out. So we're trying to remain as stum as possible for a lot of it. One of the things we are definitely doing is, alongside the role-playing games, we're also going to start doing some card and board games next year, which will be a new adventure for us, which will be good. I've also just started a brand new company, which is a sister company of Chronicle City in some respects, called Delta 14, which is actually a fiction publishing company.
Oh wow! Okay.
So we're actually going to be doing brand new fiction, as well as hopefully getting some classic authors' works back into print as well.
Such as?
Again, until things are signed and sealed, I can't say any names.
That's what I thought you'd say, but I had to ask.
Some of the fiction we're doing is going to have crossover, either by producing games related to the novels that we're publishing, or we've got the option, obviously, through doing this, publishing anthologies or novels based upon some of the role-playing games that we're doing as Chronicle City or our partners are doing. One of the first announcements we actually had was Peter Cakebread, who did Clockwork and Chivalry and Airship Pirates, and we're producing a novel called The Alchemist's Revenge, which is based in the world of Clockwork and Chivalry. So that's one of the first books that will be coming out. And we've also got brand new fiction by an author called Gunnar Roxon called The Wild Hunt, which is a science fiction crime thriller.
Yep. And that one is out now, because I see it's on the stall downstairs. What about the Clockwork one? Is that out now or soon?
The Clockwork one, we have got the text. We're waiting the final edit from it. I suspect, if all goes well, that should probably be out about March or April time.
Fantastic. We will keep a close eye out for it.
Thank you very much.
Thanks very much for your time today.
Cheers,
Thank you.